My name is Rian Aldim. Rian's a bit of a different name. In fact, before I got married, my name was Rian Yugan. And when I went to appointments, people would call out Ryan Nguyen and expect an Asian boy to appear in front of them. So I understand if you can't remember my name. My mum made up my name with the last two letters of her name and my dad's. And even though my name is a combination of both my parents, just my mum raised me. Growing up, I always knew I didn't have what was considered a normal family, which is a mum and a dad and siblings all under one roof. And in a child's mind, this causes a lot of self-doubt. I always questioned why my dad wasn't around and thought to myself, maybe I had done something wrong or maybe I wasn't enough. This was an emotional wound that I carried all through my adult life, which I didn't even know or didn't even speak about. Today, as I watch my own children play with their dad, it's bittersweet because I love that they have this connection, but I'm also confronted with the fact that I've missed out on so much. So I decided to change my perspective, and instead of blaming my dad and being annoyed and angry, I decided to thank him. Thank him for teaching me the value of family and appreciating my husband for coming home every day. Today I will be sharing with you about the healing power of gratitude. Gratitude is this powerful force that we can use to expand our happiness, create loving relationships, and even improve our health. A few years ago, I was staring at myself in the mirror. It was my 30th birthday and I hardly recognised myself. I was looking at myself and realising how much I'd changed, and I'd put on so much weight since getting married and having 3 kids. The chatter in my mind was full of criticism of how I could be more and have more, and I wasn't exactly where I planned to be. I couldn't help but look at social media and play this social comparison game against the highlight reels of other people's lives. I felt accomplished on paper. I had all the qualifications I wanted, but I had no career. I knew how to get the body I wanted, but I had no inner drive. And I had this ideal family that I'd always dreamt of, but I was just angry and taking my frustrations out on them. Why wasn't I full of joy and happiness? I was exhausted, my self-esteem had declined, and I was stressed out to the max. I thought to myself, if I keep living the same way and thinking the same way, I'm only going to get more of the same results. So I was in search of a tool or some sort of way to help lift my happiness levels and rebuild my identity. I began with my physical health. My doctor was shocked to see how high my cholesterol was and that my iron was so low she couldn't believe that I could function. And due to ongoing stomach pain, tests revealed that I had reflux and fatty liver disease. My mental health was also on the decline. This is not how you're supposed to be when you're 30. And my mental health, it was popping up, like depression and anxiety was popping up at times that were really unpredictable. So I knew I had to hit my lifestyle at all angles to make some substantial changes. It all started with the food at the end of my fork. I was heavily addicted to sugar, which was affecting my mood, my energy levels, and the toxins that were entering my body. So I cleaned up my diet by changing to a plant-based diet. I then added daily movement to shift my physiological energy. Then it came to working on the hardest part, my mindset and my perspective on life. I had to uncover all my limiting beliefs, and in my search, gratitude seemed to be an important pillar for my recovery. Expressing gratitude is more than just saying thanks. According to scientists, it's a deep feeling of appreciation. And studies have linked gratitude to a range of positive health impacts on your physical and emotional well-being. So let's go through 5 proven benefits of practicing gratitude. 1, gratitude can lead to greater physical and mental health. Your mind and body are strongly connected. The activity of your mind, including your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, are always impacting your physiology, which is your makeup, your physical body. Researchers have found that focusing our thoughts on gratitude can create many benefits such as alleviation of depression, improved mental resilience, greater cardiovascular health, and decreased inflammation. And we know a lot of diseases come from when inflammation starts in the body. Number 2, gratitude can reduce your stress and make you feel happier. Practicing gratitude blocks toxic emotions such as depression, envy, regret, and resentment. You cannot be grateful and angry at the same time. You can only have one of these emotions at any given time. Researchers have found that gratitude is strongly associated with greater happiness. It also decreases the production of the stress hormone known as cortisol, and it lowers your blood pressure and your heart rate during rest as well as at times of stress. Sometimes you just need a simple way to get yourself out of a negative state. Did you know that 70% of women have up to 50,000 negative thoughts a day? I see the women nodding their heads, and they're probably wondering, what? One negative thought takes 100 positive thoughts to offset. And gratitude is this superpower that can make all the difference. It can get you out of a place of fear, stress, worry, criticism, and help raise your vibration to one more conductive of healing. Staying stuck in the fear and stress can create more disease and disharmony in your body. So it's important to have simple tools to help us get stuck. Once we do get unstuck, we also come to this place where we feel that we can actually help others, and we're more emotionally aware of other people feeling stuck. So our emotional health grows in that way as well. 3, gratitude can help you get better sleep. Getting a good night's sleep is vital for good health because during sleep, our body eliminates toxins, it consolidates our memories, and it repairs and regenerates our body. Studies have found that sleep deprivation can lead to increased stress responsivity, which means instead of approaching things with a calm and relaxed response, we tend to just react to things as they come at us. Also somatic pains, which is, the gut pains that we may get, or the cramping, or, just not feeling right. Sleep deprivation also can give you emotional distress, mood disorders, and again, increases the chance of having cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Researchers have found that gratitude can help with your sleep quality and the duration. And studies at university have found that university students that write 15 minutes before they go to sleep are able to let go of their worries, settle their minds, and have a better sleep. Number 4, gratitude can help your self-esteem. Open any of your social media accounts and start scrolling. You see all these bright smiling faces and you might wonder, why don't I feel as happy as they do? In the accounts that I follow, I always seem to find these attractive women that their faces are glowing and painted on with makeup that I'm sure took at least an hour to do. And they've got this ability to just look sexy when they exercise. Like, has anyone seen that? Yeah, well, here I am, scrolling with my 4th Tim Tam in my hand, feeling very inadequate. So your brain starts to play this social comparison game. And here's what you rarely see. Everyone's problems, their losses, their deepest insecurities, their heartaches. Although everyone's life appears to be amazing on social media, they aren't. And we know this, yet we still compare. And before we were keeping up with the Kardashians, people were keeping up with the Joneses. So this comparison game has always been within our society. Cultivating gratitude for your real life, all its flaws and successes, can help you break out of this cycle and increase your self-esteem. Self-esteem is your overall opinion of yourself, and it's directly linked with your mental health. Although self-esteem is usually shaped during your childhood, your past experiences do not need to determine your future. Your present thoughts and perceptions play the biggest role in your self-esteem today, which is why gratitude for your current life, flaws and all, promotes a positive attitude in your daily life. Number 5, gratitude can improve your relationships. Satisfying relationships, including romantic relationships, close friendships, and social connections with members of your community, can make you feel healthier and happier. And researchers have found that it also increases your longevity, which means you live longer because of the relationships that you have in your life. Researchers have found that gratitude is imperative for strengthening and maintaining your relationships. So expressing gratitude can open doors to new relationships. For example, let's say you meet somebody, exchange numbers, and then later on send a message thanking them for being so lovely or meeting them. That's a way of cultivating a new relationship. On the flip side, you might think, but how does gratitude come into play if a relationship has ended? No matter the reason, whether it be separation, incompatibility, broken trust, poor timing, or death, there are a few things more gut-wrenching than having to say goodbye to someone you loved or had a deep connection with. During my wellness journey, I found out that a relative of mine, Rabs, was starting her battle with breast cancer. At just 37 years old and 3 daughters, the youngest just being 2 years old. Within 15 months, we lost her, and coming to terms with the end of a relationship is one of those difficult things that really triggers a lot of distress in your body. However, daily gratitude has provided me a little bit of a perspective shift that has helped making my road to healing sting a little less. So for example, my children come into my bed, one at a time generally, so I've got 3, one at a time generally, and by the morning I usually look like I've come out of a boxing match because they elbow me, they knee me, it's crazy in bed. I used to get really annoyed by this, but now that I've seen and experienced certain things in my life, I no longer get annoyed at this circumstance. I take it with gratitude because I know Rabs can't do this. She doesn't have this privilege anymore. So instead of being annoyed, I have gratitude because I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm here today, and I get these extra cuddles. So within 6 months of practicing gratitude, I went from stressed out, health depleting, sugar addicted, fatigued mum to a whole foods loving, meditating, energetic woman of wellness. My cholesterol had regulated, my iron was the highest it's ever been. I kicked depression and anxiety to the curb. I was having, instead of having 8 spoons of Milo with 1 teaspoon of milk, plus half a block of Cadbury chocolate, I was now only having 1 kid-sized Kit Kat a day. I swapped out coffee for celery juice. I was back to consistently exercising, kicking goals in my work life, doing things that I never thought I would do, like what I'm doing tonight. I had more energy and enthusiasm about my life, so I started getting out of the trackies and dressing up a little bit more and just giving myself a little bit more self-love. I became less reactive to stress and just started to roll with the punches and know that life wasn't working against me, it was working for me. I'd done a complete transformation and couldn't believe that I didn't start gratitude earlier. I realised this was such an important life lesson that I had to share it with my kids. If it helped me so dramatically, I'm sure it would be of value to them. As a parent, we generally tend to want to do the best for our kids. I know I generally give what I've missed out on as a kid, but in return, what that has caused is having some children that don't really appreciate the lifestyle that we give them. And I see this behaviour come out in their attitudes and the things they place their priorities on. My children are my pride and joy, and I really want to do the best I can for them, but sometimes I need to take a step back and share some hard truths with them. The life lesson of kindness and gratitude and inclusivity has been a game changer in my life. So I pondered for a while what the best way to do this was. In the past, we had donated toys and clothes to those in need, but I think because they didn't see where it went, they couldn't grasp the concept and they had no emotional connection to it. So I was on a mission to find the best way to impart this lesson. I thought about joining a charity and giving back to those in need. All I knew was I didn't want to just talk about it. I didn't want to just read a book about it. I wanted to show them what it was like to go without. I kept coming across roadblocks from larger organisations saying that because the children were too young, they couldn't be a part of their organisation due to insurance purposes. So I put the idea of feeding our local homeless in winter online, and to my surprise, my community reached out, donated funds and their time. Together with my children, my mum and some incredible friends, I took to the streets of Melbourne. We were able to team up with the soup place and provide 412 meals, water, bread rolls, fruit and sanitary packs. Having this visual imprint of handing food over to somebody that's in need will hopefully stay with my children for a lifetime. The tears of appreciation that my daughters witnessed of a homeless lady crying while she was eating her soup are priceless. They immediately learnt that the act of giving brings so much more joy than receiving. They also asked me questions about how did these people get there, and it was a wonderful opportunity for these people to be able to share their story and my children to sort of open up their eyes and remove some judgment of why they think they were there in the first place. Now in the evenings, instead of worrying about things that are in the minor, like where's my favourite toy, we can focus on the macro of life, like having a safe home and being in a loving family. Sometimes when we stress out, we say, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that, and we're running here and running there. But we need to just take a step back and remember that we get to do this because we get another day here to play in this game called life. With so much negativity surrounding us, a need for gratitude is imperative. People feel and express gratitude in different ways. Some go to their past, so they retrieve memories of their childhood or things that they used to do, in their early 20s, let's say. And then some people look at their present, so not taking things for granted that they have today, and some to their future, so having a hopeful and optimistic sort of attitude. Gratitude is this way for people to appreciate what they have instead of always reaching for something new in the hopes that it will make them happier, and thinking that they won't be happy until all their physical and material needs are met. Gratitude helps people refocus on what they have instead of what they lack. This can't be a once-off thing. It needs to be practiced daily, and it's like a muscle. So the more you do it, the stronger your mind gets, and it helps change your perspectives and emotions towards your life. Now that we know the benefits, let's talk about some common reasons people choose not to practice gratitude. Some think that it's really difficult and a bit useless. Like, if no one can see it or hear it, what's the point of doing it? Some people think it requires too much effort. We genuinely underestimate the power of gratitude, and we struggle with it because we surround ourselves with people who complain. We all do it. We all complain so much that all we see are our challenges. If you focus on your problems, all you get is more problems. Another factor is many of us place our happiness on external factors. So when you start with gratitude, you start being thankful for what you observe rather than what you expect. So what people tend to do is we live our lives, in general, people live their lives based on their own expectations, not ours. And when ours are unmet, we seem to feel ungrateful. So having happiness based on outside factors is always going to feel like a bit of a letdown. With gratitude, you can't wait to, don't postpone it. Don't wait until you've got that job or that car or, you've gone on that holiday before you're grateful for what you have. Because if you are thankful for what you have, you will be given more to be grateful for. I'm just going to repeat that again. If you are thankful for what you have, you will be given more to be grateful for. There's no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to practicing gratitude. Don't be selective what you are grateful for. Even the seemingly most routine things such as having access to this incredible resource known as the internet, or a warm bed to sleep in at night, or even the people in your family that just want to spend time with you. Some incorporate their expressions of gratitude through spiritual or religious beliefs, such as blessing a meal before they eat. One thing Americans got right is having a day dedicated to Thanksgiving. This is the day where they take time to reflect on their life and their loved ones and just be appreciative of it all. Some prefer to keep a gratitude journal, which is what I do, where I regularly write about what or whom I'm thankful for and why. Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. Now I've got this book that when I'm having tough times, I can open up, read and connect. And what it does is it helps me realign myself and sort of pull me out of the stresses that I'm experiencing. Physically putting pen to paper creates this unexplainable magic, so it doesn't really have the same impact if you're just writing in the notes on your phone. Let's say you choose to have a gratitude journal. Let me give you a few tips. As you write in your journal, Challenge yourself by not repeating items from the previous day. This will make you look at things a bit more deeply, and you'll start noticing the more subtle things that give you joy, such as having a hot shower, your favourite song, your dogs, and even the fluffy toilet paper maybe your partner buys instead of the scratchy one. Ideally, write in your journal before bed, as it helps wire your brain to carry on having these good feelings when you wake up. Commit to keeping a journal consistently for a month. What we put our attention on expands in our life, and by offering gratitude for all the goodness we experience, we're inviting the universe to give us more of what we want. To help you get started, you may ask yourself simple things like, what inspired me today? What gave me happiness today? Another one that people miss is, what gave me peace today? No matter how you choose to practice, take the time to notice how you feel before, during, and after. Your reflection and of your awareness is the key to experiencing the positive health impacts as well. When appreciating something, our ego seems to just move out of the way and we connect with our soul. Gratitude brings our attention into the present, which is the only place that miracles can unfold. Gratitude is your superpower back to joy, and it's easily accessible to anyone on a healing journey or wanting to have a more fulfilling life, because it uplifts, it inspires, creates, heals, and energizes us. By getting grateful, you raise your vibrational frequency and move into a state of healing, and then you can experience the life that you dream of having. So I would like to leave you with some action steps. Number 1, please just give it a try and purchase yourself some sort of a journal or a lined notebook. 2, substitute the last 10-15 minutes of your usual tech time before bed to reflect on your life. 3, write down 3 things that you're deeply grateful for. Be specific and genuine. So what I mean by that is, let's say you lost your job, right? And someone's like, oh, at least you're healthy. You can't actually connect to that. You can't say, oh, at least I'm healthy in your gratitude journal, because at the moment you're still breathing with anger for losing your job. So sometimes you need to also write the things that you want to learn to be grateful for, such as, I'd like to learn to be grateful for losing my job. And then you can start unpacking that. Number 4, do this daily if possible, and if not, begin with 1 time a week, preferably on a Sunday, and then gradually increase it. Now that you know a little bit more about gratitude, please raise your hand if you think that you can commit to adding gratitude to your life. Great, let's start right now. So can I just get you to close your eyes for me and just breathe. Take 3 deep breaths and be grateful for this day. As you listen to me, continue with a nice soft breath. Today you took many of those breaths for granted. You just expected them to come. Truth is, there is no guarantee that the next one will come. Think about how you started your day and you carried yourself throughout the day. How you've been allowed to have these encounters and experiences that have pushed you forward another day on this earth as a human being. Now bring into your mind someone you're grateful for. Could be someone close, parent, child, friend, spouse. Consider what they've given you. Maybe wisdom, love, inspiration, support. As that feeling grows deeper, allow yourself to smile and feel it in your body. Open your eyes. Can you feel the shift in the room? When you practice gratitude, you change yourself. And when you change yourself, you change the world. Thank you.